Hello students, in the last online classes I have taught you from the chapter 3 element, compound and mixture. Okay, and we have discussed till heteroatomic molecules. Okay, so what are heteroatomic molecules? The molecules which are made up of more than one type of elements. Okay, already we have discussed till here. Now in this video lectures I will discuss about the elements, characteristics of the elements and compounds. Okay, so what are elements? A substance made of the same kind of atoms is called an element. Okay, atom cannot be broken down into simpler substances. So what are elements? See, whatever you see in the periodic table, okay, total 120 elements has been discovered. Among them 92 were naturally occurring elements. Excuse me. For example, hydrogen, carbon, oxygen, nitrogen, etc. all these are examples of element. So iron is an element made up of only one kind of atom. Now each atom in iron is the same. Now gold is another element made up of only gold atoms. So about 120 elements are known. Okay, and out of which 92 are naturally occurring in the earth crust. That means they are available in the earth crust, and the rest have been synthetic element. They are known as synthetic element. The remaining elements have been made by the scientists in the lab. Okay, so scientists may find or make more elements in the future. So the possibility is there that after a few years you will find that more number of elements has been discovered. Now characteristics of the elements. An element is a pure substance. Why an element is a pure substance? Because they are made up of a single kinds of atoms, and elements can be represented by a formula, right? Yes, for example, hydrogen, oxygen, nitrogen, sulfur, phosphorus, potassium. Okay, so these can be represented by a chemical formula. So they are pure substances. It is made up of only one kinds of particle. Okay, for example, if you see H2, O2, Cl2, etc. Okay, so these kinds of elements, you will find them that they are made up of only one kinds of particle. Okay, they are made up of only one kinds of particle. Elements may occur naturally or may be prepared artificially. So just now I have told you that out of 120 elements, 92 occur naturally, and the rest they are prepared artificially. That means they are synthetic elements. Element exist in all the three physical states. So you go for any types of elements, okay, they can exist in all the three states of matter. That means they can exist either in the form of solid state or in the liquid or in the gaseous form. Okay, now let us move on to the classification of elements. Now how an elements can be classified? On the basis of physical and chemical properties, elements can be classified into four main groups. Okay, so what are the four main groups? Metals, non-metals, metalloids, and noble or inert gases. Okay, so elements can be classified in four groups, that is metal, non-metal, metalloids, and noble or inert gases. Now what are metals? All metals except mercury, which is a liquid, are solid at room temperature. Metals are usually lustrous and they have a shiny surfaces. Okay, and metals are ductile. That means they can be drawn into wires. For example, you see copper, aluminium, these are all metals. Okay, and it can be easily drawn into wires. Metals are malleable. That means they can be hammered or rolled into thin sheets. Okay, for example, iron you can see iron, aluminium, gold, okay, silver. Okay, you can hammer them into fine sheets. Aluminium foil you have seen, which is used to wrap the food particles or the food items, and they are very good conductor of heat and electricity. So metals generally they are good conductor of heat and electricity. Examples: sodium, magnesium, calcium, copper, potassium, silver, gold, aluminium. Okay, these are all metals. There are others as well. Okay, so few examples have been given in your book. Okay, sodium, potassium, calcium, these are all metals. So which metal is you will find in the liquid state in the room temperature? That is mercury. So this is an exception, you can underline that point. Okay, so mercury is an exception. Next come to the non-metal. Now non-metal generally have the property just opposite of that metals. Now non-metals are generally liquid and gases at room temperature. Now they have dull surface, dull surface. Just now we have seen that metals have lustrous, metals are lustrous. See gold, silver, okay, they are valued for their lustrous or shining property, right? But metals generally have dull surface and cannot easily be hammered. Okay, they are non-malleable into another shape. So if you try to hammer them, they will break into pieces. Okay, but they will not, you cannot change them into thin sheets. And non-ductile, they are also non-ductile. That means you cannot stretch them into wires, right? They are poor conductor of heat and electricity. So generally metals are poor conductor of heat and electricity. Some exceptions are also there. See carbon in the form of graphite, carbon is a non-metal, okay, and in the form of graphite it is a good conductor of heat and electricity. So that is an exception, you can mark it in your book. For example, hydrogen gas, oxygen gas, nitrogen gas, sulfurs, okay, carbon, these are all examples of non-metal. Okay, elements occur in three states: solid. Now some elements which occur in the solid state, you can go by this example: gold, silver, iron, copper, lead, aluminium, zinc, sodium, carbon. These are all elements which occurs in the solid state. Liquid, mercury and bromine. Yes, so these are the elements at room temperature. Now what is room temperature? Maybe it is generally from 25 degree to 30 degree centigrade is considered as room temperature. So at room temperature, these type of element you will find them in the liquid state, especially mercury and bromine. So you should mark it as important. Gas, in the gaseous, most of the non-metals you will see them: oxygen, neon, nitrogen, hydrogen, chlorine, fluorine, helium, etc. Okay, these are all the elements which you will find them in the gaseous state in the room temperature. Few elements, they do not combine. Okay, now atoms of metals and metalloids do not combine with their own types of atoms. Similarly, the atoms of inert gases exist free under all conditions. So their atoms are regarded as molecules. The molecules of all these elements are said to be monoatomic molecules. Now there are few elements which do not react or combine with their own molecules as well. Okay, they don't want for any combination. Okay, so whatever their symbol is represented, that is only known as monoatomic molecule. For example, neon, if you write Ne, it is represented as monoatomic molecule. If you write carbon, monoatomic molecule. Okay, so there are many examples where you see that the elements, they do not have the tendency to combine with each other, right? So these type of elements with the symbols are known as monoatomic molecules, right? Now metalloids, what are metalloids? See, metalloids have the properties which is very common to both of metals and non-metals. Okay, so they are also known as semi-metals, right? So metalloids are known as a semi-metal. They are a group of elements that lies between metals and non-metals. They show properties that are of some extent to metallic as well as some extent to the non-metallic categories. Okay. So metalloids are those elements which shows the properties of both metals and non-metal. Okay. For example, you can learn this example by heart: arsenic, boron, silicon. Okay, these are all examples of metalloids, right? Next, noble or inert gases. Now these are those gaseous elements. Now all the noble elements, there are 6 noble gases, noble elements are there, or inert gases. They all are non-metal and they exist in the form of, you can find them in the form of gaseous state. Okay, now what are those noble elements? Helium, neon, argon, krypton, xenon, radon. Okay, so these are all noble or inert gases. Okay, right? So learn these examples of the noble gases by heart, right? Next, we will move on to the next point, which is compound. Now what are compounds? Yes, compounds are made up of 2 or more than 2 elements. Okay, compounds are made up of 2 or more than 2 elements, where you will find they combine chemically in a definite proportion. That means their formulas are fixed, right? Their formulas are fixed. When atoms of 2 or more different elements combine chemically in a fixed proportion, they form compound. Atoms of same element can combine to form molecule but not a compound. For example, hydrogen chloride gas HCl, you will see that it is made up of hydrogen and chlorine, right? So here you will find that there are 2 different kinds of elements are there. Sodium chloride also same. Okay, here also you will see that it is made up of sodium and chlorine. So 2 different elements are taking part in making the formula. So these type of formula where you see that various types of elements are taking part, okay, they are known as compounds. But remember, they have to bear a fixed ratio. The formula cannot change from time to time and place to place. Okay. For example, nitrogen dioxide, NO2, zinc, sulfide, okay, magnesium chloride, these are all examples of compounds. Water is also a compound. Why? Because water is made up of hydrogen and oxygen. So hydrogen and oxygen are 2 different types of elements, right? So next, compounds have specific physical properties. Now every compound, they have some specific properties. For example, you consider water. Okay, water boils at 100 degrees centigrade. Its melting point is 0 degrees centigrade, right? Its freezing point is 0 degrees centigrade. So these are all physical properties, right? So like that, all the compounds, whatever the compounds you go through, okay, whichever the compounds you go through, okay, they have their own physical properties, melting point, boiling point, okay, and the others properties, solubility, etc. These properties they bear, that is their individual properties, okay. So compounds have specific physical properties, that is physical state. State means solid, liquid, gaseous state. Density, they have specific density. Color, various compounds they have different colors, some are colorless, okay. Odor, they have different types of odor, you can characteristic smell. Taste, okay, various compounds have different taste, okay. For example, sugar have different taste, whereas say other things, they have lime have different taste, okay. So different compounds, they have different types of taste. So these are also taken as physical properties, okay. They also have specific chemical properties like reactivity with other substances. Now compound, they have their own property, okay, of reactivity. Few compounds are highly reactive, whereas the other compounds are very less reactive, okay. So now let's move to the characteristics of the compound. A compound is a pure substance. Now why a compound is a pure substance? Okay, in the last online class also I explained that why compound is a pure substance. What is the definition of a pure substance? A pure substance are those substances which can be represented by any chemical formula, okay. For example, air, you cannot say it is a pure substance. Why? Do you know any formula of air? No. We can only give a percentage compositions of the air, okay. We cannot give any specific formula to air, so that is a mixture, right? But pure substances, they always have some definite formula, definite composition, okay. That means the composition is throughout uniform, which is known as homogeneous composition, right? A compound has uniform composition, that is they are homogeneous in nature. For example, you took a glass of distilled water, okay. So the entire water entire glass, okay, will have H2O molecules. There will be no other molecules, right? So that means the composition is homogeneous, it is uniform, okay. A compound has distinct properties as the original component loses their individual properties. Now this is interesting. A compound, whenever a compound is made, okay, the elements which is taking part in making the compounds, they totally lose their individual properties, and a new property is being formed, okay. So whenever the compound is formed, the element which is taking part in making that formula, okay, their own identity, their own property is not maintained over there, okay, or they lose their own property, and a new property, totally a new property is being formed, okay. For example, you see in water, okay, hydrogen and oxygen both are supporter of combustion, but when they react together to form water, you see water is not a supporter of combustion, so they have lose their own properties and a totally a new substance has formed, okay. Elements in a compound cannot be separated by a simple physical method, but can be separated by chemical method. So whatever the elements you go through, okay, they cannot be separated by a simple method. For example, here if you notice, the example of iron sulfide is given, okay. Now what do you think, that if you bring a magnet to this, near to this FeS, will this iron will get attracted to the magnet? No, it is not possible. Simple physical method is not enough to separate the components or the elements taking part in the formula making of a compound, okay. You cannot make them separate, we have to make them separate chemically, okay. Energy is either released or absorbed during the formation of a compound. Now this is interesting. Energy, whenever there is some formation of compound goes on, either energy is released, that means the process, now energy can be released in the form of heat, light, okay, and other form, okay. So if it is in the form of heat, then we will say it is exothermic, right. Whenever energy is released in the process, then it is known as exothermic, and if energy is absorbed in that process, then it is known as endothermic, okay. So whenever there is formation of compound take place, energy either released or absorbed, okay. So I will end this lecture here. In the next class I will start from the symbols of the elements, go through this topic nicely, right. And after watching this video, write in the comment section that your name, and if you have any queries, you can also write it over there. Thank you.